Hey everyone, welcome to Living All the Darkness. This is going to be another scene for Rage Across New York, the werewolf venue. Today's scene is not going to be taking place on the set. Going to switch it up on you motherfuckers today. Today's scene is going to be taking place in the streets of Manhattan. Ksenia has become bored, and she has requested of Gus, in a win-win scenario, that she just kind of show her that he just kind of show her around the city. This helps him in that he can get the fuck off of Central Park and get away from some of just the admittedly either boredom or bites the week's shenanigans. And by shenanigans, I mean bullying, oppression. But
Gus actually buys a drink for Ksenia. Whatever she wants. Except if she wants vodka, he will be like, I don't think they will allow us to drink on street, but he will buy a whatever she wants.
She's curious about this stuff they call Fanta. She's seen commercials for it, but they didn't have it over there.
He immediately actually brings Fanta. Fanta is amazing, he says while gives her a Fanta.
Interesting. I'm used to orange drinks. Let's see how this tastes.
If you drink too much, it will make your teeth a bit weird, just so you know.
Okay. All right. I understand that much. I know soda does bad things.
Sugar, makes your teeth bad. I hope you enjoy your time in your new home.
It's different, to say the least. It's not the countryside. I've been to the city a couple of times, but mostly to visit, never to be there for an extended time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I completely understand what you say. And hopefully everything will be, hopefully everything will be the way you want it to be.
Already not the case. It's too damn hot.
Yes, it is. It is a very hot place in here. I hope the Havika didn't bore you yesterday.
No, not at all.
Wait, is that Sam? As he looks towards someone.
You see a very, very happy, very bright-eyed young man walking down the street with a messenger bag.
I think it is Sam. He says Mr. Sam, Mr. Kapoor, you're here.
He turns his head when he's hailed, looks around a little bit, and then spots you. It's this big old smile and waves, and he just kind of jogs on over.
Oh shit! You know the man from the newsroom?
Yeah, I do. He is. He as he whispers he's me, not you.
Oh, I didn't hear what he whispered. My bad.
He says he's one of us.
Oh, all right. Oh shit!
They have the newsroom in Russia. They don't have Fanta, but they have the newsroom.
Are you a black spell dancer, mister? Hello, Sam.
Oh
he whispers the word Raya. This is a newcomer, Ksenia.
Ksenia.
Yes. Hello, Sam. I've heard about you from some of our mutual associates, I think. She'll extend her hand.
Excellent. It's a pleasure to meet you. And he accepts. very much so.
Oh,
He's very soft hands.
Ksenia's hands are surprisingly rough. Also, got to throw this out there. She does speak with a very, very heavy Russian accent. I'm just not going to do it because Luca will hate me forever.
But yeah, no. He. Sorry. What did she say last?
Oh, she just said that she had heard about him from mutual associates. She kind of said that questioningly because she's not sure how to say those other werewolves from the set out in the street.
And he says, "Oh, that's surprising. Good things, I hope."
Fairly good things. I was directed to you to, well, just get some of the lowdown on just the goings on at the moment.
Oh, sure, sure. Of course.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't need to do that here.
Yeah. So what brings you out and about today?
I thought that it would be a good idea to just know where I'm living.
Oh, are you acclimating well though? I know it all must be very new, but um, are you enjoying the city so far?
It has its ups and downs. I like nightclubs.
Nightclubs are the best.
I especially like the music and art here.
Oh, there is so much of that. I highly recommend Washington Square Park. Fun fact: that's actually where the Beastie Boys were discovered.
Oh, all right. I'm going to write that down. And she's basically just going to produce her phone and just make a fucking note in her phone to go there. At least of like the location and shit.
How is everything other than the normal stuff? Normal stuff as in... you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were just a little quiet for me, but that's okay.
How about now?
Better.
Okay. He says, like, how is other stuff, Mr. Kapoor? Is everything all right with the newspaper?
Oh yes. Very much so. Um, yes. Works. Work's been more my focus now than ever. Lately, it's been strange. Just how normal things tend to feel.
You run a newspaper.
Oh no, I don't. I don't run it. I write a small column in the New York Times.
That's still an accomplishment. I hear the New York Times is considered very... I struggle to find the word in English. I'm sorry. But good? Very good. It's very good. Very respected. Yes. That.
Very much so. They New York Times is a newspaper that cites their sources and very very respectable. Thank you. But aside from the newspaper, things have been going well. Uh, even even our other lives.
Ain't gonna front, did not catch that very last part.
Sorry, he says, things have been going well. Even our other lives.
Oh, okay. So she'll say, that's good to hear. I've just caught some of those past goings on, and they sound very tumultuous. I hear that at least the latest has been a time of relative stability.
Yes, very very strange things are happening, and I can't wait to talk about them. I've seen a good deal, thanks to the um, oh, how do I put this? Uh, Thanks to the amount of fresh air that our friends and I have been getting.
This is good to know.
Speaking of which, he pulls out his phone. It's, he sends a quick text to Amy to see how she's doing.
He's going to say around the same time, Ksenia gets a fucking notification on Twitter, pulls out her phone. Woman posted again. Is she okay? She seems sad.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Go on, Tim. Go on.
Oh,
Oh, no,
her Twitter went off, and she looks like it's this woman. She posted again. Is she okay? She seems very sad. Someone needs to help her. She's gonna like turn her phone and she's gonna show. It's a picture of Amy, one of her selfies. Is she okay?
I think so. I'm not sure what's wrong. I suppose we could invite her out. Maybe the fresh air will help. Actual fresh air, not.
It's about that time that there's just something flashy coming down the street at a rather alarming rate of speed. Sam, you see as Amy is moving down the street with a billowing black Technicolor coat on.
Oh my god.
And rollerblades. And as she locks eyes with you...
Okay, hold on. Okay, so there's a woman wearing all black rolling in rollerblades heading toward us at a high speed.
Mm-hmm.
Ksenia's hands go up. Or rather, her fists go up. She is about to throw hands.
And she goes towards a sliding stop up towards Sam, like sliding right at him.
Oh yeah, he cringes some, and by some I mean a lot. Like he braces himself to get tackled over, and when he doesn't, he opens one eye at first and then both, and starts to relax.
Oh my god. So much stuff out here. This city is full of things to do. I've had like 5 Red Bulls in like the past 3 hours.
Oh no.
Are you okay? That can't possibly be safe. Also, why are you wearing rollerblades? Also, why are you coming towards us? Also, who are you? Also, are you sad? Are you okay?
Try that again, but a little bit slower.
Okay. Why were you rolling towards us in the rollerblades and the all black?
Well, first off, this coat, and she'll literally spin in place. It's not all black. It's Technicolor. on black. I didn't get the part in the off-Broadway production of A Goofy Movie or Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. But I did manage to get away with the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Oh,
Why were you hugging a hot dog?
Because he was on the street handing out flyers, and I took the flyer and I asked if I could get a picture.
Huh. Are you all right?
Yes.
This is good to know then. I have been getting your tweets all day and night. Someone tagged me. Don't know who.
now 1 second. I want to peony that yes. What's the name of the scene?
Oh, sorry?
Name of the scene?
Oh, the name of the scene is one of Falcon Daddy's Chosen.
Boom shakalaka.
All right, wait, so what was going on?
Sam was peonying Amy when she said yes. In response to, is she okay?
She's not sure why she's being asked that. So she's responding with a tentative yes because maybe somebody knows something that she doesn't. But yes, she's okay. She's probably a little bit overhyped, a little bit dehydrated, but otherwise okay. And she's kind of like, just kind of rubbing her fingers on the, lapels of the dream coat. Just like, this thing is amazing.
Amy, I didn't see you for a long time, actually.
Oh. Well, I saw you.
I'm happy to hear that. I actually found a job for you.
A job? What kind of job?
It's a place where you go and help them. What was the name of that? Just a second. I'm sorry. Oh, see, I forget. Working in a cleaning company.
Oh, gender?
Yeah,
Pass.
but
Just stalely, just stalely as her face kind of goes, just equally as stale. Just pass.
okay. What kind of job you want?
Store manager at Bed Bath and Beyond.
Have you tried to join that?
No.
I don't think they like. Do you have experiences about that job?
Nope.
But Raya, you said he actually he says Raya and then says but you told Sam that you would find a job and then leave his place. That's why I was trying to find you a job.
Oh, that's really nice of you, but I'm still looking. And besides, being Sam's roommate is kind of a full-time job. She smiles
Sam.
at him.
Sam dies a little inside.
Got to keep this this cockroach on the straight and narrow. She pats him on the shoulder.
His whole body moves.
Like to avoid the hand.
No. Like when he gets pat on the back. Not a whole lot of meat there.
Guess not. If you say so. One push.
So, who's this? She gestures over to Tim's
This,
character.
I am Ksenia Andreevna Ivanova. It was good to meet you.
Oh, one of Falcon Daddy's people. Oh, awesome.
Yes?
So, how do you spell that name?
My bad, I didn't get that.
How do you spell that name?
In what language?
I'm gonna go with Cambodian. She says with wide eyes and a smile.
Give me like 10, 15 seconds. I'll need to translate that.
Oh my
She
gosh.
just puts that shit through Google Translate.
She looks over at Sam,
And she
just
just-
like, really?
She just kind of shows Amy the phone and says it's probably more than a little incorrect, but this is what it says.
It looks plenty correct to me. So, Sam, how was the rest of the evening at Rebecca's house?
Well, we didn't stay much longer. I had a couple of cookies, and then Jacob gave me a ride home.
Yeah, I got about 4 blocks away from the apartment, and I realized I had no idea where I was.
Oh no.
So I did my best to keep going towards the tall buildings. But I got a little sidetracked here and there.
Glad to see you're all right, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm tired, though. Like, extremely tired. Just gonna reach into the Dreamcoat's pocket and pull out another Red Bull and crack it open and drink it down. Whew.
Oh my god, she did that all in one gulp.
Yeah.
And Glasswalker. She did that all in one suck.
One draw, as it were. So, Kensei?
An alternate version of my name is Xena. Xena is fine. If that is easier for you.
There is a look of failing restraint on her face as she's trying so hard.
Make the joke. Make the joke. I know you do.
She's gonna shake her head like.
You're going to feel better when you do it.
And she just lets out the Xena war cry.
Do you feel better now?
Where's Gabrielle? Now I'm okay.
All right.
So, what brings you to the concrete jungle?
Much has happened here over the past couple of years. Much. And some of my relatives back home wish to know some of the specifics of what happened, know some of the stories and such. It was decided that would be an easier fit here than others. So here I am.
So, would it be fair to say that you were drafted?
If you want that, yes. I was a bit excited to leave. I like to see new things. And I had not seen new things in very many years.
So where do you come from?
Oh, Russia. Though I assume you're meaning a bit more specific.
Yes.
Crescent Moon.
Oh, no, that's not exactly what I was going for.
No. That's the place. Crescent Moon.
There's a place called Crescent Moon.
Yes, it's a special place similar to the park.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I would be a bit more direct with you, however. Looks around the sidewalk.
At the large berth that people are giving with, what is it, 8 plus 9 plus 3, 12 points of rage? All condensed in one place?
Hot.
She'll respond to that with, well, they may be giving us a wide berth, but you don't know about anybody else. And one thing that I was told, one of the few things I was told about cities and being in them is you can never be too sure, and you know vastly less than you think you do.
That's generally the case in most situations.
But cities especially, there's too many floors and windows.
Sam, where's a good place we can go?
For what exactly?
Frank conversation?
Right.
Not a conversation with Frank, but the other kind of Frank.
Right. Around this time in the afternoon, I'm sure there's a coffee shop not far from here. Some of the booths towards the back in the private area tend to be good.
They're good for a lot of things.
Sam doesn't laugh like that, but he does like he does like he has a little smile.
Does anybody says anything after he says they are good for a lot of things?
It's written
Oh,
all over Sam's face, but he didn't say it.
I mean, because then you said, damn right they are.
Amy's just taking in a deep breath, like, that's what she said. No, not doing that one anymore? Not funny anymore? That one?
I'm not used to that joke. So it's funny to me.
The Gus wants to say something, and the thing he wants to say is, "I came from a child of Gaia Sept." Where those things are kind of normal, obviously. But like, there's a child of Gaia here, so he doesn't want. He's like, yeah, I heard those jokes a lot as well.
Neat. Let's go. Which way?
Let's go.
Right this way. And yeah, Sam leads him in the direction of the coffee shop, and there's a ring of the bell on the doors. They walk in, everybody looks and shits, and some people leave, and and yeah, Sam heads to the far back, finds a booth if the group prefers a booth, or a table if the group prefers a table.
Gus doesn't give a shit. He is okay with sitting wherever he needs to sit.
Yeah, Cassand's like whatever about it too. She is cool. She is partial boots because they are soft.
Does Amy have preference, booth or table?
Probably table.
So Sam finds one of those half booth, half tables.
Those exist. Those are a thing.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Sam will pull up a chair. Right. So I think that this should be safe enough, especially if we keep our voices down.
Amy's gonna pull the hood up over her head.
So, what are the things we want to talk about?
So, what are the other details you got going on, Xena?
Well, what else would you like to know? If I can, we can speak more frankly now. Yes.
Yes.
To clear all of the confusion, the sept that I come from is called the Sept of the Crescent Moon.
Cool. What's your moon?
Give us. Would you like a proper introduction?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I am Ksenia Andreevna Ivanova. I am a Cleith Galliard of the Silver Fangs, born on 2 legs.
Cool. I'm Amy Sweetwater, and I'm Magabash of the Children of Gaia. Clear. Dated Rough and Tumble.
Cute name.
Tim, I think you have a bit of an echo.
Oh, sorry about that.
No worries.
Although she will say, that is a good deep name. If you'd be willing to tell me, I'm curious to know how you got it.
I fell down a mountain.
Did you jump off?
No, just kind of lost my balance and fell.
It's not in character. Sam,
Gus is nodding.
yeah, much the same as Sam. Sam offers his hand to Ksenia one more time and says, as so we had said before, Sam Kapoor, I'm Hamid born under the gibbous moon as well. Moon sister, pleasure to meet you. I am a warrior of cockroach, cleaved to the nation and deeded reverb.
I have heard of the peculiar names that cockroaches and rats' children take. How did you end up with such a name?
Well, reverb being short for reverberate. It's but also stylized to reverb for my actions. I utilized the stories and the inspiration that my grandmother had told me. As inspiration to compile information on her behalf. Information that was very important to a mission to stop a pharmaceutical company from continuing to manufacture and distribute drugs that worsened the condition of Alzheimer's patients.
So you helped use the stories of old to bring down a current threat.
And their sound reverberated.
That is very poetic.
He nods with a small, proud smile.
It is a good name for you.
Thank you. I assume Gus has already made his proper introduction to you?
Oh, yes.
Gus smiles, he's like, I already did. You don't expect from a cub to you expect sometimes a cub to forget their introductions. He's like, I did.
Nah, fam, I came prepared.
Yeah.
Sam kind of does a rat-a-tat-tat with his hands to drum on the table. And he says, right then, so you're looking for information on the current goings-on.
Yes. I'd also like to help however I can.
Well, admittedly, there only is so much I can offer, as there is still a lot of confusion and unanswered questions, but right now, two of the issues facing our set um, include a deal that has just been struck with representatives of the Weaver and a known entity with an army of Banes known as the Bane Binder. The deal that was struck with the Weaver, um, it involves, for our part, dealing with what pattern spiders are referring to as the scar is leaking in a more literal sense. The worm is corrupting Weaver spirits in a high concentration in a specific area of the Bronx. This is something that's they can't take care of, that they're requiring our help for, and there is there's a lot for us to gain in taking care of this problem. As it being of the worm, it's our duty to anyway. So that requires further investigation. And he looks over at Amy, offers a nod of head. We investigated this location in the Bronx from the other side. And what we saw was a bit alarming. There was a factory that's manufacturing something. Pardon me, I didn't sleep that great last night. Something worm tainted, but it wasn't clear what exactly they were manufacturing, so it will require some investigation from this side. But we did encounter, surprisingly, the Bane Binder in this mission. We were being attacked by some Weaver beast tainted by the worm, perhaps. Had these giant hissing pistons for legs. A gnawed, sharp face.
Giant metal steampunk dog.
Very much so. Very apt, yes. And it was assaulted with some of the Banebinder's army. These giant winged vulturous banes. They're called carrion banes, matter of factly. They traditionally they don't travel in flocks, and they don't attack the worm as they are of the worm. They're known for preying on weaker spirits and badly hurt Garu. On rare occasion. But they have been traveling in large flocks, we believe under the control of this Banebinder. And aside from this instance of what the Banebinder is capable of, well, when we were being chased by this nasty beast, this piston creature, it was assaulted by these carrion banes. And we witnessed the Banebinder several rooftops away. Whether it had intended to or not, it helped us.
He was pretty freaky.
Hmm.
Like, really freaky. A lot of freaky. Totally freaky. Sam nearly died.
I didn't nearly die.
I saved his life.
You helped. You helped.
Well, it's good to see that you're still with us.
He nods with like a half worried, with a worried look on his face, but with a smile. So there's this factory that needs investigated from our side, and there is this enigmatic Bane binder. It's a twisted thing. You can't miss it. Its visage is very recognizable. It has long, thick horns atop its head. It wears a dark, tattered cloak with portions of its spine jutting out through holes. It has a sickly Icarus smell to it. It's hunched. A wicked, eldritch thing. And it carves Gaian symbols. Not twisted. Just regular Gaian symbols. It carves them into the pelts of man.
Certainly very descriptive. You do our moon justice.
I'll never forget something so horrifying.
Of course, I will assist with this Bane binder however I can. However, it is a bit out of my expertise. This factory, however, I'm not an investigator, but I can see doing things. Do you know of anybody on the set that is skilled at such things? I assume that Jacob is, as he is chief of police.
Yes, I'm sure his help will be instrumental in the apprehension and possible destruction of this beast.
Jacob will approach the group. He would sneeze, but he's already walking towards them.
Is he muffled for anybody else?
A little bit.
One sec. Alright.
He's very British.
This is true. I'm very British. I am very far south. Yeah. Jacob approaches the group. His name being uttered, the devil approaches. Kill it with fire.
We are known for our fire.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hello, sir. Officer, sir. And she will kind of you know the greeting that people normally make where they just kind of throw their head back and it's kind of meant to be like a nod, like a reverse nod.
Mm-hmm.
She does that, and it just so happens she happens to expose her throat right then.
Oh, how convenient. Just say,
Yes.
oh, it's Captain. It's okay.
Captain. Yes.
The Gus gives a nod of respect. He doesn't show throat in. He doesn't want to show throat here.
Hmm.
Can only imagine how many times he's had to show for it today.
Sam nods much the same. They're sitting in a booth, well, a half booth, half table, like with chairs on the other side of the table. And I'm sure Jacob could pull up a chair and, at the end of the table. But they're all speaking, of course, very lowly because they're in a coffee shop.
Okay.
A very, isolated, given all the rage in the back. But yeah, they're in the back, very isolated, speaking very lowly.
Jacob will take a seat. He's in uniform. Ooh, he's in uniform.
I was just getting everyone up to speed in the current events with the Bane binder.
Oh, right. Yeah, I haven't heard much about that, to be honest.
Right. Sorry to repeat myself.
It's
but,
okay. You can just get me up to speed later. It's fine.
The short news of it is that there is a factory we must investigate in the Tellurian.
Awesome. I'm great at investigating factories.
Ksenia nods sagely because she called that shit.
Why is it always factories now?
Well, it has both the industrial aspect of the Weaver as well as the susceptibility to corrupt, as factories often do of the worm.
Yeah, just saying that's not true. Yeah, that's a thing everywhere. Okay, well, maybe not everywhere. At least where I was from, but that was also a thing. Factories are common, probably for the reasons Sam mentioned.
Yeah, it's always factories now. Oh well. If nothing else, I've gotten very good at finding my way around factories at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So familiar environments and all that. Oh, my apologies. I had a long shift. Big bad binded spirit guy. Go kill. Good.
Right. Aside from it, and the scar, the issue with the scar, are there any other issues that are, that we face that I may not be aware of? Or both that he'll say we.
I don't know if everybody's been got up to speed about Highbridge Park.
Sam shakes his head.
A bunch of spirals were kidnapping people. They kidnapped two of our kinfolk. We managed to rescue one, and by we I mean my packmate and Collier. We destroyed the pack behind the corruption. There might be some clean up at the fountain we have to do to fully cleanse it, but the agents behind it are gone, so it's unlikely to get worse unless it just spirals on its own. But the source and the ritual, the process being used to corrupt it has been ended.
Excellent.
I remember the last time we double checked. What was it, Highbridge? There were a few corrupted nature spirits, so we'll probably just need to deal with them and cleanse the rest of the fountain. Outside of that, should be easy going. I currently have 2 spiral kinfolk in custody. One of which is largely the reason I was able to, or we were able to find what we were able to find.
Wow.
I've largely left. Oh, sorry, no.
Oh, he's just going to remark, well, that's incredible.
We've actually managed to fully cleanse one of them. I'm going to try the other. The problem is that the cleansing seems to put them at serious risk of death. The one that was fully cleansed went into cardiac arrest. It was only because of my pack mate that he actually survived. I have little medical knowledge. Something I'm going to be learning now that I've had to deal with it. The other one I need to see first. Actually, I don't know. I'm not sure if you'll know the name of the leader of the Spiral Pack, Sam. He was known as Jamie Jackson.
Oh, this is the first I've heard of him. Or her.
I just asked because I thought you should know he was a former glasswalker. Took his brother and sister with him. I've managed to pull out the brother we straight up took from the scene at the fountain, and the sister well, she was being used to create some sort of edible substance is the closest I can call it. That was part of the corruption process.
Right, I was there for that.
Why am I explaining that to you? Yeah, you're right. Why did I just... Of course, yeah. Like, you were actually there for that. I guess it's just because you weren't... I think it's because you weren't there at the fountain. Why am I leaving? I'm sorry, that was very rude of me. I'm not giving you credit where credit's due. You literally helped me kill the guy.
That's all right.
The pack that kills together stays together.
Yeah, it's yeah, I guess you ended up missing half the story, Sam. It's kind of weird. Actually, it's kind of relevant to you. It's kind of a shame.
Oh.
That's a weirdly meta thing to say, but actually kind of accurate in character as well. So justified. Yeah. If I can cleanse a sister, and I mean the brother's already on board and has been actively cooperating with me ever since we got him. Took some doing, because the only thing really keeping him with the spirals was his loyalty to his brother, which was then obviously thoroughly broken when we'd revealed the fact that no, he's not going to come save you. He doesn't care. He's a monster. Always was. Well, as soon as he joined the spirals, at least. And he's been cooperating with us ever since then. And he's cleansed. I've put it to the Kinfolk Council as to what they want to do with him, because it is a Kinfolk issue. So they get first say on that particular matter. Right. The sister, I need to see if I can cleanse without getting her killed. And I need to see if I can ensure her loyalty to the nation, because they were effectively kidnapped and enslaved by their brother for several years. The brother realizes that. I'm not sure if his sister does.
Sam nods and gestures to the rest of the table. Just says, "Well, there you have it, everyone. These are the issues we face and the things we need to be vigilant for."
The Augustus kind of like narrows his eyes for a second. He is thinking about something. It's very obvious. We gave to the kinfolk council for what reason, Raya?
The Kinfolk Council specifically deals with kinfolk-related issues, and this directly affects kinfolk. Technically, I could just kill them both, but it seems wasteful and an act in bad faith to the Kinfolk
think-
Council.
The kinfolk bill of rights says nothing about the black spiral kinfolks.
No, but considering the kinfolk are going to be the people largely day-to-day dealing with these two figures, if they're allowed to rejoin the nation, feels only fair they should get a say. Besides, I feel like they're in a better position to decide than I am. I am not neutral in this particular matter. I've made my opinion clear to them what I think I would do. So I've left that as an option on the table for them. But given that that is an option, I'd prefer to leave it to them because it seems like they are honestly better suited to handle the matter right now. Again, I mean, I could take just direct action, but I feel as if it would be somewhat unfair, considering half the point of the council is to make decisions like this. The council may decide to put them to death, which...
The council can be act like a philodox? That's strange.
Well, when it comes to death, they probably need to clear that with the actual Garu. But they could make the judgment. I'd vastly prefer that not to be the case.
We put too much trust in these individuals that we don't know. They may be spies or something else.
Well, I mean, those spies just got a pack killed, and it was one actually doing a fairly significant job. It was a fairly lengthy interrogation process. Neither of them came in voluntarily. Like, they did not surrender themselves, and both made significant efforts to attempt to escape.
Yeah,
And the
that's
ones
not-
commanding them are gone, so... It's possible, but unlikely. Doesn't mean I trust them. Obviously, a lot of precautions would need to be taken if they are to rejoin the nation at all. I've got several ideas in mind on how to handle that. If they are permitted leniency, which would likely come down to cooperation on their part, one of which has already at least started on that path. I would be taking responsibility for them.
Are you going to, Raya?
Again, I want to see what the opinion of the council is. If the council doesn't want to deal with, if the council, or as such, the kinfolk of the Sabt do not want to deal with these two figures, then no, I will not be doing so. I can understand why they'd be reticent. It wouldn't be the first time we've had an infiltrator. Of course, that one everybody trusted and thought was, oh, just a sad, sorry victim until they started, until they were discovered to be murdering other kinfolk and aiding skin dancers.
Strange.
Strange, but what's normal?
Normal folk. The answer is a
That's true.
smile.
I mean, I suppose. I mean, that's what the Shadow Lord wanted to do.
They wanted to do what, Raya?
Oh, they wanted to just shoot them in the head.
Him or her? What? I didn't understand. I'm sorry.
Oh, Kolya, he's a Shadow Lord. He wanted to shoot them in the head. I'm like, well, I mean, I made a deal with them that I'd actually try and get them out of this situation. So I have to honor that deal, and even if you have not made that deal, if I were to just stand by and let you kill them out of hand, that would be quite, that would not be honorable on my part. I'd be violating the spirit of that deal, and I'm not going to do that. I work in legalese, but I understand that it is the spirit of the law that matters, not its wording. So far, I've fulfilled my end of that bargain, and I consider it fulfilled now, as I've gotten them both out of that hellhole. Not literal hellhole, but, you know, the metaphorical one. And handed that particular decision off to the Kinfolk Council, as, again, they're going to be the ones dealing with them on a day-to-day basis. So there you go.
He nods. He doesn't like say a lot, but he nods. Hopefully things will be better.
If they want to kill them, then it will happen, I suppose. Personally, I don't agree. Not currently, at least. From a pragmatic point of view, I see them as a unique opportunity. The spirals of Staten Island and of this city in general have been harassing and victimizing our kinfolk for a long time. I'm looking to make this... I'm looking to make a point that they should think twice, because we can do the same to them. And that treating your family like cattle, turns out, does not exactly make for loyal kinfolk. I mean, you should have seen the sister. She was literally... I mean, it looks like she came out of it. I mean, she was... Would you say that place looked like a crack den, Sam?
That's putting it kindly.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my point. I mean, she looked fucking broken.
Yes, the area was very broken. The windows were all broken. There was glass all over the floor, and there were people living on bare mattresses lying on the ground, shoddy chairs, grimy walls.
It was a pretty fucked up situation, to say the least. But, yeah, I want to make this, make them an example, hit at the Spiral's morale, create a divide between them and their kinfolk, considering that's more or less what they did to us about a year and a half ago. I feel like it's only fair and fitting. And we're actually right. So from my perspective, it's both the ethical and the pragmatic victory. So as long as it's applied in the right way. I find myself having to pick between those two options far too much, so the opportunity to take both is not something I'm going to ignore. I can only hope the kinfolk of the Sept agree with me.
Just doesn't say anything. He remains silent. Do we give a lot of calls like this to the kinfolk?
This is the first one I've really given, to be honest. I don't know about other people, but this is the first time I've given them a major decision. I would... given's an incorrect word. Delegated, maybe. That is part of the point of the Kinfolk Council. It's effectively the delegation of particular topic matters to them.
Will they be able to decide what's best for them?
Oh, well... I mean, I've literally given them that decision. They're the ones making that call. What's best for them and what's best for us? Do we let them go? Like, do we let them go? Do we exile them? Do we kill them? Do we do? Again, I've made my appeal. People are free to make theirs. I try not to get too involved because my wife sits on the council, so obviously there's a conflict of interest there. But considering my involvement in the matter and that I was perhaps most deeply involved in the capture, interrogation, and possible rehabilitation of these two kinfolk. I decided to give my opinion on the matter. Like, the only person who's really as involved as I was Garm. He was playing bad cop, by the way. Obviously, I'm the good cop.
I think you have a bit of bad cop in you. You were too.
Oh yeah, there was one time there was a oh yeah, man, that was this one time I played bad cop. I was a kinfolk, effectively a kinfolk race ride on Seps, and we were trying to calm them all down, and then they basically told us to effectively fuck off. We're gonna start beating each other up, and then I turned into I turned Krenos and said, "No, you're going to fuck off now," and then they all ran away screaming. Which was the smart thing to do, because yeah, that would have been unpleasant if that escalated any further.
What would you have done if they've we're going to stay.
Oh, well, they'd have to try and beat me up, and that would have been a very poor idea. Because you effectively have half a dozen Garu standing between like a few dozen kinfolk on each side of the conflict, so you're going to have to start beating up Garu, and that's unwise. I was already really pissed off, but I would have probably started throwing kinfolk around at that point to try and force them apart. Like, I mean, if at that point, if they're gonna pick a fight, then I'm just gonna knock them out. I'm not gonna kill anyone, of course, but like, if you actually want to start a fight with me while I've turned into a giant rage monster, then well, you're about as asleep as you are stupid at that point. Very, very, very asleep and very, very stupid. But yeah, the intent was not to kill, it was to cow, to intimidate. At that point, it was the only... I mean, it's kind of sad to me that it was the only thing that worked, but it did. It was more or less my final... it was my final attempt to resolve things peacefully before violence broke out. That's why I did it, because at that point, they had made it their intent clear, regardless of any peacekeeping attempts we had made. Yeah, including Garu from both sides of that particular conflict, as it was Pure Tribes and Fianna and Fenrir going at it, so... And both Garu from both sides of that particular tribal divide were telling them to stop, including myself, and I'm not really on either divide. And they still weren't. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I have no choice. I have to say, no, you're going to stop, or I'm going to beat the shit out of you until you do. That's how you want to play it, right? And then they realized, yeah, that's probably a stupid idea, which was good. Sad it reached that point, but good that it stopped.
Well, we're fortunate to not be facing those issues currently.
Nope, the whole Kinfolk Bill of Rights and the Kinfolk Council seem to have cleaned those issues more or less up entirely, which is good. Kind of why I'm very happy to continue working with them in the current form that they are. Yeah.
Hopefully the things that we have to do coming up here soon won't have to involve them too much, given how dangerous it is.
Yeah, I don't think these what's been discussed is something we'll have to really involve Arcane in too much, which is good. But we should remain vigilant just in case. Now that things are running so smoothly with our kinfolk again, no doubt that the Spirals will be like, we can't be having that as they always do.
Right.
But yeah. So most of my issues largely resolved, other than the final cleansing of the fountain, and that's something I think Collier is very insistent on. So If you want to get involved in that and do any cleanup, if it hasn't been done already, Collier would be the guy to speak to because he's been working on this a little bit longer than I have. I kind
I
of
will
joined.
have to go back. I'm sorry, Ray, I just gotta go back to the, SAP Cub education. See you all later. He kind of pays the bill for what's everyone drinking here, and then he will leave.
See you around, August.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
No problem. Anytime.
I will see you later then, Gus.
Thanks. See you later, Amy.
See ya. So, Sam, what were they talking about?
Wait, how much of that did you miss?
I don't know. I saw a mime out on the street, and I kind of lost track of everything else.
Oh, yes. The selfies are all here on Twitter.
God damn it.
You're weird.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Kind of just a statement of fact, but okay.
It's even better when the compliments are factual.
I suppose we'll see. Yeah. Good to see things are all progressing over everybody. That's refreshing.
Very much so. For once, it doesn't feel hopeless. There's very much a sense of direction and not an overwhelming sense of dread.
Yeah. It might actually even be worth, if we keep resolving these issues, to think about expanding our influence.
Ksenia perks up at expanding borders, and she says, I volunteer and would love to be part of such an undertaking.
You've quite literally volunteered as tribute.
Yes.
Awesome.
Expansion is something that is rarely done. If accomplished, it would be something momentous in today's times.
Yeah, it was half the reason I stayed on board of the police force, because I saw that it was somewhat corrupt and hijacked by Wormish forces, and I used it to kick out those Wormish forces out of the police force and take control over it for Gaia. But, yeah, I was thinking we could begin doing that soon, given how things are working. I mean, even the pact that me, Gum, and well, you, Sam, and Collier all dealt with. I mean, they were doing some significant work, but clearly they weren't for the food chain, as it were. I mean, I'm thinking. I think particularly with this new deal for Weaver, we can begin really contesting with the spirals for control over the city proper. Maybe we can even begin isolating them back to Staten Island. I
Right.
really want to make some inroads south and into some other boroughs.
South of the park, yes?
And also, I've got the police force in Hatton down, pat, really. But a lot of Wormish corruption these days is obviously corporate, particularly New York, center of the economic world.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe worth infiltrating at
To the
ourselves and building.
whistleblower.
Oh, pardon?
Oh, but as he was talking about most of the worm influence is corporate, she looks over to the whistleblower and the glasswalker. She's smiling. She's not showing teeth. She's smiling.
Oh, he smiles.
She's
He smiles with teeth. Those wolfish ways are lost on him.
Disgusting ape. I love you. Yeah, I'm thinking we seriously start considering expanding into the city infrastructure. If not to change it, then to at least keep the worm out. Because obviously, I mean, I remember talking to you guys about a day or two ago about how Magadon keeps coming back and back and back. And how this permanent solution will take a really long time to find.
Sam,
Starts with us getting our own claws in the industry.
Sam's expression sours a bit at the mention of Magadon.
Oh, boo-hoo. Sad.
Why does
Yeah.
the worm have an ancient shark on their side?
Oh, what? Oh, I get it. No, it's the name of a business, pharmaceutical company.
You're thinking Megalodon.
Yeah, that's the one.
So yeah,
No, this is Magadon. It's a very nefarious corporation responsible for some of the worst atrocities.
yeah, they're one of the larger wicks and one of the more dangerous ones. Think about all of the terrible things you could do if you with biological and chemical warfare, and then imagine Magadon amplifying all of those things tenfold.
Like
That's their
chemicals in the water that turns the frogs gay.
Oh no, don't watch that anymore.
Nope, they just make it so that it probably just turns the frogs into hideous monsters that want to kill us.
Oh.
I mean, the Hudson is already the worst, so their work is already half done. But my point is, in a battlefield like this, mortal influence could go a really long ways to keeping out the enemy and empowering ourselves. I mean, I can't tell you how easy it would have been to protect that damn forest to the north if we just had some fucking politicians among us.
Well, I've got my fingers in a few different areas. That sounds wrong, but
It sounds just right.
I have a contact at City Hall. As well, I work at the New York Times. I've had a bit of luck, once or twice in intercepting a few stories, as I mentioned to you once before when we were trying to trying to get a meeting set up, Jacob. I heard something about missing individuals by that park.
Mm. Yeah, the police were trying very hard to keep that under wraps because obviously with the amount of people being kidnapped within such a short period of time would have caused mass panic. At least within at least within Washington Heights, maybe not the entire city, but I mean, one person a night, that's pretty fucking terrifying.
Certainly. I only mean to say that there are avenues at my disposal to assist.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I can help you. I do actually have some friends in the media myself, so we may be able to help each other out. I'd like to see if I can improve your platform or expand upon it. Or if nothing else, maybe expand upon the platform of a trusted kinfolk you have in mind. Because the thing is, the more power we get, the more influence we get within this city, the more it can bounce off of itself to multiply in potency. You know, if I have control over the police force, well, that makes certain actions and lives easier for our more political figures. Having control over the media definitely does. It enables us to get a grip on high society. High society allows us to connect ourselves to multiple affluent and influential individuals that we can then use to expand into other areas and so on and so forth. And the ones I'm thinking about right now are finance, financial sector, industrial sector, and political sector. Politics is very obvious. Industry, obviously, because industry and finance, because those seem to be the two main sectors that the forces of reform are currently using most in this city. At least right now.
Sam looks over to Ksenia. He doesn't say anything, but he's looking for anything that she may say, as she did express interest earlier.
So, the worm works in many ways. Corporations are one way they get through. I've heard plenty of tales about how it can work its way in through the impoverished and other such things.
Yeah,
Maybe.
No, go ahead.
Maybe also making sure that there's people. What is the word? Words. Working the streets?
Street level guys.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I was actually. You make a good point. The way I'm currently running things is a bit distant.
Well, macro and micro.
Yeah, I definitely think we can. Yeah, I don't want to neglect the street level. You're right. It's not something I'm as good at, mainly due to my position more than anything else. And the path I've chosen, but I definitely think that's an area some of us could focus on. Because I think once we start getting a bit more control to lure inside, we can start pushing our boundaries Umbra side as well. Particularly, again, with this deal for Weaver, is going to make it a lot easier for us to move around. And it's going to make things a lot easier for Guy and Spirits as well. That's a window we should really exploit.
We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see if there are any allies within the city or neighboring cities of my tribe that may be able to assist with that as well.
I do need to ask, as a point of clarification. I'm sorry, Sam, did I speak over you?
No, I had finished my thought.
All right. Is your intent to expand the borders of the park or establish outposts around the city?
The parks, I would probably be more interested in. I think it'd be more pragmatic to establish outposts more than expand the park's borders, as the park is somewhat surrounded. Maybe its borders could expand on the Umbral side, but the problem with that is the Weaver still covers every aspect of basically every area immediately outside the park. So we'd still be somewhat. It would be. I think it would be more difficult, at least initially, and we'd be risking a lot of immediate pushback. And it wouldn't be the first time the Weaver retaliated. But I think if we can begin setting up some outposts, they could definitely. That's something I think is more easily done, and is something we can. We might be able to expand upon more readily as well. It also makes it a bit easier. It's a bit more strategically problematic for the spirals. They were not necessarily going to know we've set up a bunch of outposts, whereas they'll know if the Seps borders are expanding. They'll know that. We more or less found that out about them immediately when they started doing the same thing to us. The cues to it usually aren't subtle.
All right. So you want this goal of expansion, and you want to do this via. You're basically taking what we do traditionally in the countryside and applying it to a city. Very typically, in protectorates I'm sorry, I don't know, are familiar with.
Oh, we're cutting out a little bit.
Well, typically, multiple packs hold territory within a protectorate, and they go around and they swatch their area, and if something's too big for one pack, the others can come and support it. It's very surprising that the scepter is always very central, but I've never seen it that central.
Yeah, I think the thing with the Scepter of the Green is because it's been besieged on all sides, it's become very, very focused on its one particular corner. Which isn't necessarily a weakness, particularly since it's more or less constantly being attacked, but it does mean we can sometimes neglect pushing outwards. But I think this is a rare opportunity for us to do that. And I mean, I basically own the east side of Manhattan at this point, like territory-wise. I don't think I've taken significant action there in a long time. But yeah, it actually kind of feeds into my other thoughts of actually I was going to start recruiting for my pack and see if we could get a third pack running as well in the Sept to aid in this expansion effort. You're basically right in essence what I want to do, Ksenia. I guess if I were to compare it to something, I'd compare it almost to a 50-state political strategy. I want to expand in basically every way we possibly can.
There are stories and other philosophies of our tribe that can help with this.
Yeah, because I wouldn't expect to win every battle or succeed at every attempted expansion. But doing so may actually help us in succeeding where we really need to. But yeah, this is just kind of draft. What would you say? Not really drafting more than it is brainstorming right now. I think when I think I'll get back to you and we can coordinate something.
Of course.
And we can craft something a bit more cohesive. Because I've always been one for going on the offense. I've never really liked the defensive nature of our war. We're too used to reacting. That's not how you win a war.
Well, it sounds as if we've got the foundations for some good brainstorming. I think perhaps we should revisit this another day then. He raises his coffee.
Yeah, I think this is definitely something that we should have more discussions about. In fact, I wonder when the next mood is. It might be worth bringing up there. After all, what's the point of me being a captain of a police precinct if I don't use that to expand our interests?
Sam nods.
It will also be a good idea to gather those of the SEP that would be supportive of this to voice support of you when you make the announcement. I am unsure of the layout of the people of the sect, and I don't know how they would respond to such a thing. So it may be a good idea to make sure that it's more than just you being ambitious, if that makes any sense.
Oh no, yeah, I'll discuss it with other members of the SEPT as well. I think they'll have their own ideas, and I think I may know what some of those ideas are and how to accommodate them. I know that my packmate will probably be down for this in some capacity or another. And it's actually something I think
further from your mic.
Interested in.
Chris!
Yeah.
Get further from your mic.
Oh, what? No. Oh! Jacob makes a weird sound.
There we go.
Jacob just says, yeah, I'll talk to other members of SEPT about it. I actually think I know what some of their ideas might be, and I think out of all of them, Collier might actually be the most enthusiastic. It depends.
I can bring this up to him, or you can bring this up to him, whichever.
I don't really mind too much either way, to be honest. I know there's a bit of tension between us because of the whole Sparrowkin thing. He really wanted to just execute them, and I said, I can't do that. And he was not happy. Understandable, but I wasn't in a position to allow it at the time. So, yeah, fresh face to the concept may help get him on board, or at least get him to share his own ideas. Because I don't want to just focus on model influence, because I think that's not hitting enough angles. I think, for example, the theatres of the Sept will have different ideas on how to expand, and I think
Grass!
right. Oh god, that come! I'm right next to it. That's right.
There's a visible like a line where like you're talking and then suddenly like you're far away.
Yeah. At this point, I'm just kind of repeating myself. So, yeah, different angles. I think if we can get I think the third pack, if we have the numbers for it, will become a thing when August and Havakar make it through their rites of passage. If not, then I mean, we need at least a second pack if we're going to do this. And I need to recruit at least one additional figure for my pack.
Well, whatever the case may be, there's plenty of work that needs to be done.
Yeah. As I said, I'll talk to other members of Sept about it. I'd encourage you all to do the same, and then we can meet back up and begin laying the groundwork for a possible expansion effort.
Mm-hmm.
Sound good to everybody?
Yes, excellent.
Sam nods.
Looks over to Amy. Ksenia's pretty sure that was her.
Amy is literally dying in her chair.
Right. We have a lot of information to digest. I think the meeting can be adjourned for today.
Please.
I don't know. I'm not sure I'm done yet.
All right. Well, thank you,
I
players,
think
for
the rest
playing.
of you can
Thank
go.
you.
Amy can stay.
Oh no!
I don't think she quite got all of it.
Terrible.
I mean, if you want, she can borrow my notepad if she wants. Yeah, write it down, take notes. Oh, do I need to give you fucking homework? What's this shit? Come on.
Why are you screaming? I don't understand.
You're scaring away what few customers there already were.
She's like
I don't-
over dramatically, like hanging off the edge of the table.
Why? Who stabbed you? What happened?
Sam,
Tell me,
Sam-
I will be back.
It's just too much. It's just too much to be more.
Sam gets up, and puts a hand on her leaned over back, and just gives her a quick 2 pats, and then gestures his head towards the door and says, "I think we should be going now." On that note,
Yeah. I can't imagine how you're going to be when you're an agent and you actually have to go through the paperwork. But yeah. It was a lovely chat. It was good seeing you all.
and you as well.
Take care out there.
And with that, I know at least for Sam and Amy's part, I'm pretty sure we're going to exit. I think that may be a good place to end the scene, though.
Yes, it is.
Alrighty then. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you to our watchers for watching. We will see you next time on Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.